3, 2, 1, and let's go. In today's episode, we have another live comp versus Celtic, but it's not because I think we can beat them. It's mainly due to the finances and how big this game is for us and the existence of our football club and this save. Let's run that intro, and I'll explain what I mean in a second. Do not go anywhere. Well, YouTube, this game could theoretically save us from potential administration. If you have a look at the finances, we've been hemorrhaging money. We are $1.3 million in debt. However, last year we played Rangers in the Cup quarterfinal, and we ended up making $700K or so in a day. Celtic have, of course, got a facility that has got 60,000 seats, and I would imagine they're going to be mostly filled. Last year when we played Rangers, they only had 40,000 people turn up for their game. There's also potential that we could beat them and knock them out the cup as well. That's the main reason why we're here, though, is obviously this. Have a look. We're 1.3 mil in debt, 1.5 mil lost this year, and that is mainly down to the fact that I've not had a stadium. I will say, we are now finally back. We go to facilities at the Dumbarton Stadium. There is not too much in terms of visual change to the ground, just instead of it being about 2 stands deep, it's now 4 stands deep in terms of seating rows. So an extra 2,000 seats, always very nice, and it's a good place to be, but we need a much bigger stadium moving forward in this save. On top of that as well, unfortunately, we have to recap what has been a very poor, torrid time run of form. Where things were going well, we're getting some decent results, all three here. We've now come through this December little bit of period past Peterhead, and unfortunately, leading up to this game, we've only won 2 games, 1 in the cup, in the Premiership, and 1 in the Cup, which means we are 1 win in the league in our last, 6? We have lost to Aberdeen 2-3, lost to Celtic 3-0, lost to Rangers 1-0 in a very good performance, and in a very poor performance recently against Dundee. We lost 2-1 as well. We did beat Queen's Park 3-0. We drew Cove Rangers. We drew 2 sides. So we drew Peterhead, that pushed us in the title in our first season. In our second season, we got pushed to the title by Cove Rangers. Played both of them. Nice to play the old 2 foes, and nice to knock out both on our run to the quarterfinal in the Cup. That is now the second year in a row we made the quarterfinal in the Cup, because I did believe we got knocked out in the quarterfinal last year, or was it the 5th round? It was the 5th round, so we were better than last year. In terms of the data hub, because I know a lot of people want to see how we're going, we are underperforming on our goals, -3. We're -8 points from where we should be, which just kind of highlights the fact that if we were performing to our metrics, we would actually be borderline in this top, 6 sort of race, which then when the league split off, they go into the champions and they go into relegation group. For us, I think getting 6th is going to be quite difficult considering the run of form we've been on. But, as long as we finish 8th or 7th, 1.7 and 1.9 million would still be a lot of money for us in the football club. I expect with us making a lot of money from the Celtic gate receipts today, there should be enough in the finances that no matter where we finish in the league, the dream of us being in a positive bank balance at the end of the season can be accomplished. And obviously how much money more past being positive is going to be very much reflected on what I can do with the squad. And I have to speak about the squad because there is a team leader that has told us that he does not want to be here any longer. Unfortunately, Adrian Gill came to me and said he wants to leave on a free next year. I tried to talk him out of it. He said that he needs to do what's best for him. So I've now listed him up for 1.9 million. We have not had a bid yet. Worth anywhere between 500K and everything else to about 2 mil. Hopefully we get an absolute little bit of a bid. It is important that we get any sort of money for him. We can't let a player like that leave on a free. The main reason we picked him up was to reinvest in his potential resale, and we need to be able to do that in order to make some of this money back. I don't know how, but the board is still giving us 100% of the revenue of sales, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a sale of about $1 million. Yes, it would give me $1 million in the transfer budget. Would I spend $1 million? Definitely not. Be mainly on wage, and I would actually try to keep as much money in the football club as possible, because for us, scraping around to get facilities upgraded, get players into the team, and have sellable assets moving forward so we can improve the balance of the football club is all going to be very much importance. Very much importance. It's all going to be very highly important moving forward in this save. Without further ado though, we are currently live on stream. Let's run that stream little plug that we always do. Make sure you check out the link down below. And when I'm right back, we're going to give you the Celtic and Dumbarton game. Keep a note that says 1.3 million. Give me a guess in the comment section what that's going to go down to. I think it's going to go down to about 300k in the debt land, which would be huge. It means we make about $1 million in this game. Hey you, yes you, follow me on Twitch. You watch all my content live and of course all the VODs for all your viewing needs. The Twitch is the place to go and for funny clips like this.
Can you fucking shut up?
Pietro Pellegrini is a freak, Mum.
Honestly.
Pietro Pellegrini is a freak. So your team for today is as followed here, YouTube. Ferrian is in goals, and this is a guy I expect to lose in the not too distant future. He's worth $1 million to 3.7 million at the moment. He has a release fee of $2 million in his new full-time contract, and he's just been developing into an absolute unbeatable keeper. When I mean unbeatable, compared for a club like us, you know, he's still averaging a 6.99, conceding 43 goals. The guy just makes saves for fun, and he's going to have a very busy day in goals today. He was one of the reasons we brought him in. Same with Gil. If you could pick people up from like the Real Madrid and Barcelona academies, then when they get released, they generally have high enough reputation or have enough standing in the game with that on their resume that if they play well for their next club, you can generally get decent resale value. That's what I'm hoping happens with Gil now that he's upset, and eventually hope happens with Ferrian. Unlike for Gil, Ferrian tied down a long new deal at halfway through the start of this year to 2031. So even if he comes upset moving forward, we could potentially keep him here against his will for the next 4 seasons, which would be unbelievable. On top of that, Derek is not having the best of year, so I'm actually going to play Carlo, and the main reason is the long throws could do a job against Celtic. Lickett's been decent, but not much development for people wondering how he's gone. He has got his pace up to 10 and acceleration up to 13. If we get the pace up to 11, I will then just work marking, positioning, and decisions and try and just work on them to get to 15. Sometimes players like this, they're never going to be world beaters, but if you can make some stats really, really class, especially when you're not in a top flight league, these are the sort of guys that develop into being long tenure players at your football club, unless big bids come in for them, of course. Smith's been decent. Volkins I'm going to release at the end of this season. He hasn't really progressed. He's been decent, but, you know, at the end of the day, he's on 2.5k a week here, and he's not played particularly the greatest. If it was up to me, I'd use him as a backup, but I'm not going to re-sign him for 2.5k a week. I might try and talk to him and see if he takes a cut price deal towards the end of his contract in a couple more months' time, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case. Decheco has been developing as the best player at this football club. He keeps on going leaps and bounds, and I really, really hope over the next few years we're going to get a bid of 5 to 7 mil for him and move him on to a Premier League club for big money. Sangari and Gil we spoke enough about previously. Grant's in there too, having a good year. Montoya hasn't scored many goals, but has been slowly developing. I expect David Montoya, once he gets used to the league, we get a little bit more quality into this squad over the next couple of years. If he's still here, this is someone that will start banging in goals at this level. And I think he could be a really good long-term backup striker for us when we become really good. But I'm also hoping, like Decheco, like probably Gil, like Ferrian, someone that I would actually sell, and I'd go out my way to keep Ben Lickett because he's 6'6", and I love that in my centre-backs. For those wondering how Sokler's been going, the goals have been drying up a little bit for us, as proven by the data hub, but still has 12 goals in 23 games, which is nothing to be scoffed at for a team that should be battling relegation, but we're probably about a couple wins away from making sure we stay in the league, and that would be very important. On the bench, there is no changes there. I haven't made any signings for January. We don't have the money to do that. Let's go and play Celtic and get through this game as quickly as possible so you guys can see how much money we end up making. And that is the main reason why we're here. If you have a look at the oppositions here, we got Jasper in goal, who is their backup goalkeeper. He's loan joining permanently. Hume at right back's pretty decent. Eric Dyer's Eric Dyer. Maybe we could get it in with the lack of speed he has. Sebastian's great. Gigoros, he's pretty good. The Greek, Ozkin's world class. Callum McGregor, even at 33, still looks class. Sal Makers is their best player. We already know this. Marquez is in there. Lookman's quick and is dangerous. And Musa's up front, as in Peta Musa, not the African Musa there. Rocco Vato, who did us over in the 7-5 loss earlier on in the save in Season 1, when he was on loan at Green Oak, I reckon, is on the bench. So flashbacks for those that remember. He was on the bench, and you know that they're rotating when Maeda is not on the bench. Look how good he is. I would love to sign him later on in this save. Let's get into it though. Those wondering if I'm going to go into the defensive 4-4-2, the answer to that question is no. I'm going to go after Celtic, try and get a goal, play on the front foot. If we're being utterly dominated or we score a goal first, you expect to see me go into a balanced system. Sinister Geo on the Twitch has put in the prediction we win 2-1 out of nowhere. We did push Rangers all the way in that 4-2 that we had with them last year. Might have been 5-2. But I highly doubt it's going to be the case here. Sam Maker's early ball. Marquez is in. We beat. We're 1-0 down within 20 seconds. It couldn't have started much worse. Jagsman with the raid. Thanks, Jags. Good to see you. How's things, mate? There's the parachutes drop in of the Raiders. You come in, as we can see, to Celtic inside 13 seconds. There we go. How's things been though, Jags? Hey, yo, not bad. Not bad. That's good. How was the stream? Hopefully it was good. For those watching on YouTube, come and check out Jags' Twitch channel as well. 1-0 down. Sal Makers now finds Musa. Ben Lickett wins, but it's only going to be as far as McGregor. This could be a very, very long night. Marquez. Still going. Lookman. Cuts at Musa. We're 2-0 down, boys. 2-0 down, 40 minutes played, and we don't look like doing anything at the minute. We do not look like doing anything at the moment, unfortunately, here. Second shot on target for Celtic. Second goal. It was good enough to make the quarterfinal, though, boys. There is a semi-final in our not-too-distant future one day. But I don't know when that day will come. It will definitely not be today, by the looks of things. If they continue to pump us here, we will just skip through this game here. Boselli, Oskin, ball to Boselli. Talk, Kelsey, calm on the ball, to be fair, as well. And Grigor with the ball into Marquez, who's been everywhere. Still everywhere. Lookman, that's a penalty, not given. Ferrian with a world-class save to his right to keep us at 2-0 and respectable. No matter what happens today, it's all about how many fans turned up for this one and how much the gate receipts help us in our quest to get back to parity of the finances. Ball in back stick, but Sengara heads away. Salmakers again going on the run. We're just not at this level yet. We are definitely not at this level yet. Marquez with the ball into Grigor, and that is that. And it is 2-0. Well, we got Lookman off. He got injured, I think. And there we are. Off we go. Claymore Nation, welcome to the chat. Yes, Mum. Yes, I am. Thank you. Carlo. Sockler. No, you cannot see you there. Smith. Vokins, ball over the top. Dyer heads away. Hume. Oskin. Can we squeeze and maybe win one high up the park? Come on, Carlo. Win a header. DeCheco. Montoya. Oh, my God. All year, every time, all year, we have cut the ball here and Sockler's tapped in. In the one game we need a goal and we need to be clinical to get ourselves back into any sort of shot of scaring Celtic, he decides he's going to shoot. The exuberance of youth. The stupidity of youth sometimes. 45 minutes played. 2-0 down. We're probably lucky it's not more. And we're going to thrash our arms and tell them it's been terrible and start that second half. Long throw for Carlo. It's why he's out here. Sockler. Carlo can whip back stick now. Instead he goes to lick it from centre back. Smith. Too negative from us, but it finds Vokins in the end. Just lacking that little bit of directness, which is unlike us. Vokins made a good run and then stopped it. Right. And Sailmaker sweeps up. Barring a mistake, this is probably Celtic's highlight building out from the back. McGregor, Ivan Jamie. See what I mean? Should be our highlight. We're in such an advanced position. All we need is one touch and a ball in the box. We've got all the height and the timber in the box, and it ends in a Celtic goal. Only got ourselves to blame here. It's a clear-cut highlight for where the ball goes to Carlo. Carlo should be whipping it back stick. Saw the highlight before Montoya. In the league, they play those balls. But because it's the quarter final of the Cup against Celtic, and the match engine's the match engine, they decide that they just don't want to. And there we go. After half-time, we've seen a resurgence in the match momentum, but does not mean anything. Celtic are going to run away deserved winners here, barring an absolute miracle. Vokins ball in, cleared away. Put it back in the box, please. So that he finds the Checo. Good link-up play. Vokins scores. Anyone believe in the chat? I think you've got to give the video a like if you believe. Adds extra power to this comeback. The Checo into Vokins. Keeper went down slightly early. Good finish in the end. Corner. Oh, don't tease me with a good time. It's a poor header away. Carlo should get on that. Take him wide and whip the ball back stick. Sockler's a big boy at the back stick. That's a poor cross. And it's probably them on the break. Yep, okay, whatever. Our hopes are dashed very quickly. Or maybe not. Smith wins. All right, we're going to go long ferry and it's the Sockler. It goes to Montoya, barring a mistake of all mistakes. Finish. Do you believe now? Do you believe? Are you a believer? From 3-0 to 3-2, within 2 minutes of each other, Boselli with a mistake, and Montoya, who probably made a mistake in the first half not squaring to Sockler, this time scores, and out of nothing, it's 3-2, and it's game on here in the quarterfinal of the Cup. Match momentum, look at it. Are there any believers in the chat? Sinistera goes. McGregor. Come on, boys. Get up for the Cup. Marquez. Cuts it. Clean off the line. Ferry in. Oh, well, he's a god. He is a god amongst men. Look at this from the keeper. The reactions from point blank. The amount of saves that boy makes. Come on, the lads. They look a little bit tight out there, the midfield especially, but there's not much quality on the bench for us. We are pretty much still a semi-professional outfit. Marquez beats one. He's in the box. Ferrying again. All right. I don't know what we're going to do here. Gill for Grant. Gill's going to actually go into... Yeah, do that. Sangara's going to come off. Yanez. Move the Checo to the other side. I want to keep our best player on there, so let's do it. I think that's what we're going to do. Lickett's having a stinker. Frankie Avid's a big boy as well. He's not 6'6", but he's 6'3", can win a header. Right? Need to leave the two strikers on. I think that's something we need to do. I think those are our changes for now. McKinnon will be on in 10 minutes' time for Gill, because he's got 15 long shots. But I want to give us still 10 minutes of, even though Gill wants to leave the football club, still 10 minutes of one of our team leaders on the park, and he's one of the better players. Yanez has got enough speed to trouble. Backstick ball, Vokins. The Checo's been really good when he's played inverted. He has scored a couple of goals playing inverted for me. That ball to Sockler's good. And then he loses out. Marquez, don't concede now. Don't concede after we would try to go on the break. Miraman, Musa, Ivan Jamie. It looks like they're probing. Oh, it's cruel. Marquez heads home. Ferry maybe should do better with the cross. Being very harsh on the keeper, I think. For half a second, you looked like it was us on the break, and we gave it away in the middle of the park and in transition, just too slow. Maybe the keeper made a decision very late to go for the cross. If it was committed a little bit more early, it might have been game. He might have been able to get there. I think with this highlight here, being Celtic highlight YouTube, our momentum for those 10 minutes have gone. Ivan Jamie hits it deflected wide. I think the Checo's going to come in for Doon. Sockler's going to come in for Samuel. And McKinnon as well. That's what we're going to do. I don't think we had any right to get back into this game. Don't think we had any right. We've done this before, though. Rangers was the same. We shook the hell out of Rangers last year. We now shook the hell out of Celtic. We led 2-0 against Celtic this season as well. It's 5-2 now, though. Mistake in our own back line, and Musa scores. And, well, look, they gave us a scare. We gave them a scare. It's going to say 5-2. Oh, my God. All right. Just make this end. It's been 14 minutes, this part of the video. We need to get through it, or else it's going to be too long, and the viewer rate's not going to be good. Right, that should be your highlight. That should be the game now. Beautiful. 5-2 we lose. I'm going to tell him it was not good enough, but to be fair, I thought we were whatever. I thought we played okay, considering. How much money, boys? How much money? Got 14k for the Scottish Cup. How many people attended this stadium? 59,000 people attended. 59,000 people attended. How much money is in the finances? Everyone get ready for your top right hand of the screen. 3, 2, 1. 559, not bad. My guess at 300 was slightly off. But we go from being $3 million in debt to 559. That's 800k, boys. Roughly 800k made in one game. We look at the income here and gate receipts. 925k worth of dollary dues. And that was our first game of the month. That's pretty outstanding. I'm pretty happy with that. That basically means that we're going to go to probably about $1 million in debt by the end of the season. So even if we got relegated in 12th, we'd have about 400k in the balance. That is a massive game in terms of the money. Was it good enough? No. Next time we see each other, we're going to be in the league phase and probably going to be outside the top 6, unfortunately, depending on results. But with that being said, it's going to be all about where we finish. Next episode, we're not going to be fighting for anything really. Maybe Europe. But it's going to be a recap episode, and it might just be the recap of the full season. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like, subscribe. More importantly, above me right here is going to be the 442 video, and above me right here is going to be the playlist video to this challenge that we're doing here with Dumbarton. If you want to check that out and catch up with the save, that's the place to do it. 442 if you want to download it, because it has been really good for me. It could be really good for you. See you guys next time. Thank you, and goodbye.